Okej. Vi startar klockan där. Vi har ett 15 minuters avsnitt utav Barcelona Fastighetssnack. Välkomna till episod nummer
6.
Welcome.
Välkommen Nella.
Thank you.
To the sofa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nella Kasurinen. And you
Yes.
are from Finland? But
I'm from Finland, yes.
But you're living in Barcelona?
Living 7 years here now,
Okay.
yes.
And this episode, we're going to speak English because you don't speak Swedish. But hopefully
Yes,
all of
please.
you guys can follow it. And you work as what?
Interiörarkitekt.
And
As
that
an
is what
interior
we're going to
architect.
try to cover here, the forthcoming 15 minutes.
Perfect.
So
Shoot.
what is that? What is...
Really good question. Many times people are asking, what is the difference for interior designer or architecture or architect? So basically, interior designer can work with design of the spaces, color, illuminations, textiles, furniture, basic design. But when it comes to a little bit more like architectural knowledge, that's for a role for interior architect. So you need to comprehend the space a bit more complete, know a little bit of structural issues, know about the distributions. It's not just the visible things that you see when you enter to a space. It's already when you're starting to build up the space.
Fantastic. And we know that you started your own company quite recently, no?
Yes. So half a year ago, I built it up with 2 associates, a construction company. So among that work, I'm occupying the role of interior architect, project manager, design, project leader, everything but complete renovation project can consist. And we're doing complete renovations, apartments here in Barcelona. And with the same team, we have been doing around 30 apartments soon here in central Barcelona. Yes.
What's your current project? Are you working on something exciting right now?
Always I'm working with something exciting. I love each project. Now we have 2 complete renovation apartments and as well 1 vineyard. And we did one.
That sounds exciting.
Really, really nice project. And then we did a small styling work in one barber shop. So, there's a nice.
So what is the most common thing that you do when it comes to the apartments and the renovations? Is it, may I leave the question a little bit, is it about changing distribution or is it about making sure that the customer is satisfied with the end product? Would you work a little bit more? Why would I need an today, with my experience, I would never work without an interior architect. But if it would be the first renovation that someone was doing, why do you need an interior architect? I mean, you guys are only choosing colors and illumination and so on. No?
Exactly.
Would you walk me through a little bit?
This is a good question in putting a parallel the interior designer and interior architect. In terms of that, when we look about example full renovation projects, the scale of from a rough old apartment which needs to be kind of done completely new, from that whole project scale, only doing the design part, it's like 5% of a full complete timeline. So there's so much things happening before that. What you mentioned about the distribution, that's the first so important thing. So basically when we are entering to the apartments, we need to replan everything. So example, changing position of the kitchen to the other side of the apartment, or changing the private spaces, example the bedrooms a bit more and not that nosy part of the apartment. These kind of things.
And when doing that, you sometimes need to take in consideration that this might be an old building that doesn't have the kind of possibilities if you're not working very smart or working with an architect, working with permission with the city, etc. So this is something you...
So to enhance literally the complete workload what you have, there's a lot of different parts. What you mentioned about the work of an architect, of course we need to have that one. have a direct communication to the city hall to ask the licenses, the permissions, doing everything according to the normatives. And especially in a city like Barcelona, where it's full of history and architecture,
Right.
so everything needs to be done correctly. So in our team, we work with an architecture, engineering, when it comes to changing the distribution of the apartments, if we need to do structural modifications for the bearing walls. Everything needs to be covered well. So in our company and for the work teams, we don't never just rush in the projects. We have really full team to work on each detail.
I could tell from our perspective, me and Moes, we have seen how you guys work, and she's a very tough boss to start with. But when they start the renovation, it's like they open the door and it's like go, and they run in like a SWAT team, and they, one is working on the air conditioning, how's that's gonna look, one is looking at the distribution, one where's the painting, where's etc. So it's very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Does this take a lot of planning before?
And exactly, this is really good
Or you
question.
just show
And
up?
no, totally no. And this is the really important point to underline: the importance of the project management and, for example, my role as an interior architect in the projects. That you're literally considering each little piece. If you would be just the designer, you come and plan about the colors, but there's what I mentioned already. There's so many things happening before that you need to be having a full perspective of the whole project. So yes, when we are opening a project, we are spreading inside like a little ants and starting to do our own.
Because time is money.
No,
Right?
exactly. So the planning needs to be really well organized. Everybody has their works in the puzzle, and we need to have a full view for the timeline, for the money,
The budgeting, the time, deadlines, etc.
Yes, each step of the
Permissions.
project.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is the main role what the project manager needs to be taking care of, and that is for the client perspective. That is something that I think many times they don't give a value to. And then later on they start understanding why did they lose so much time, why did they lose extra money, because there wasn't any general control or planning. So many times the process goes.
Do you
like
have
this.
any nightmare like that? Have you had any nightmare that you could share with us where it all went south? Which one was the worst?
No, there's
Battle stories.
War stories. No, there's always experiences. Each project never ever everything goes according to planning. But that's the thing, when you have planned everything well, you are on the top of things and you're able to react.
That's when you bring in some sisu, no?
Yeah, exactly. The Finnish sisu. That's really important.
Sisu, what's that?
Sisu. It's like this energy, the toughness.
Sisu.
Finska sisu.
Finska sisu.
The power.
Yeah. So
Nella
there's
mycket sisu.
Yeah. So when there's these kind of moments that you need to have a lot of sisu in the project, they always happens, and you just need to take care of them. Example, in one building site in an old city in Ciudad Vella in El Gótico, we found it that the structure had termitas, so eating the structure.
What is
yeah, wooden.
It's these kind of
The small termites.
termiter, sådana små äckliga djur som äter i träet. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, old
Can
buildings
be quite
when they have
expensive, no?
yes, and when the old buildings have these wooden beams as a structure elements, and there's animals eating them, well, you need to take care of it well.
And a lot of buildings in Barcelona are built on these wooden beams, right? So they
That's a part of the structure. Yes.
Relies on these
these
beams, and the insects eat them.
Yes, exactly.
That's
so
no
that's the
bueno.
thing. When it comes to that, if you don't have a good team, professional working with and taking care of the pieces of the project, this is important.
Would there be like 3 advices that you could give? 3 basic things. If one sits at home, one is about to do the first renovation, or maybe just changing something at home, kitchen, whatever. Would it be 3 things that you can give them as an advice, if it is about planning or whatever, that you could share for free here today?
Yeah. No, I think in general, literally.
If they don't want to call you, of course.
That is the first tip. Call me.
Don't do this at home.
Don't do it alone at home. No. No, literally, basically, it would be to contact literally someone who can transform your ideas.
Okay.
Many cases there's a client, and I think always
Take
there's
them
a
down from an idea
exactly
to paper.
and put it on a paper and then start organizing it, because what we mentioned about the time and money, at the end if you don't have the planning you start losing both of those.
But in Sweden we have a lot of these TV programs where people can try at home and be the carpenter, Martin Timell, so people end up more or less having water leakages, destroying a whole bedroom, whatever. So that would be your best advice, more or less. Don't do it yourself.
Yeah, or as well, you can do it yourself if you have the knowledge to do so, but I think it's good to have the ideas through one professional who can say that, okay, let's divide this project as like this. Okay, if you have knowledge to do this by yourself, okay, let's do it, and let's use our heads. Basically that. The second, you ask 3 tips. First one, to put your main idea to someone, and then let's start to structure the project. Then be open-minded and understanding that things happen. Never you can assume all little problems that might occur. Everything is always possible. And third one...
you mean possible as in things might not turn out the way you want
Exactly. No, in terms of that there might be problems in the project, but that's the thing. Then when I'm underlining the role of a professional, that there needs to be transparent communication to the client and the information needs to be open there. Then he
needs to know if you're breaking the budget.
Exactly. It needs to be informed there as soon as possible, not just that
which you would never break a budget, but.
Yeah, but that's the thing. When it happens, we need to be informing it. Yeah. And the last tip, I don't know, these are abstract things, but exactly, that was it. Not literally, sorry. But literally, because it's like, I'm enjoying my work so much, and I think it needs to be so it needs to be and I wish I could transfer that to the client, and they could enjoy the ride with me.
Very good.
Yeah.
So we are now leaning up to 12 minutes, and is there any last question? I've been asking a lot of questions, so maybe Moise has something you wanna.
Yeah. We know what to expect. I mean, now we know. Well, how long time? If I would buy an apartment today, and I would contact, let's say, you in this case.
Yes.
What could I expect in terms of? Okay, let's say I have an apartment that is 80 square meters, and it has 3 bedrooms. What could I expect in terms of time and money to spend?
So basically,
I want to change one wall. Just one wall.
Yeah, okay. So in this case, if you're gonna tear down the wall, you need to ask the permission. You need to ask the construction license, which in here in Spain we call obra menor, and it more or less to get the permission 1.5 months. So we are transmitting a project with the new distribution. We need to inform it to the city hall, and in terms of the timeline, more or less 1.5 months, we have the project permission. Then after that, we start doing the construction, and if it's just about one wall, we are not. The demolitions doesn't take more than 1 day, but generally.
Sledgehammer.
Yes. Okay. And generally, I would say for 80 square meter apartment, 2.5 or 3 months, or if there's some complications, to 3 months.
Okay.
And money-wise, everything depends on the solutions. Basically, in Barcelona now, the general cost of renovation can be from 700 until 900 per square meter. Okay. So there is
a lot about which material you choose.
Exactly, and that's in here we are called like obra fina, obra dura. So this means like the construction. On top of that, you if you're planning to do the design, the finishes, illumination, furnitures, that comes on top of that.
You don't only want IKEA kitchen, but you want Italian marble.
Exactly. Then of course those are not the standard prices.
Very good. So if someone sits at home now and thinking about, I want to buy something in Barcelona, I've been looking at some apartments that need renovation, how can they get in touch with you, Nella?
Yes.
How can they reach you?
So from our webpage, Nordic Light Construction, and there you can find our and my contact information.
We're going to try to put it also in the
if you can put it here somewhere.
Facebook page.
What's your Instagram? You use Instagram as well?
Yes, Nella Kasurinen is the designer profile, and then webpage nordiclightconstruction.com.
Very good.
And
don't forget to subscribe.
yes.
I think time is
running out.
So that was episode
numero 6.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Nella.
Thank you for
Next
coming.
time maybe you can take us to one of your projects. And
Absolutely.
That
Let's
would
go.
be
a
amazing.
deep dive.
For sure.
That would be amazing.
Welcome.
Så vi ses om en vecka, onsdagar som vanligt. Har jag missat någonting, Moes?
Det har du inte.
Se till att subscriba.
Inte idag, Samuel.
Skicka in frågor. Och följ oss i alla olika medier. Och man kommer snart kunna lyssna av där också på en podcast med
Jajamän.
musiklag och jobbet.
Det stämmer.
Så där, 15 minuter 40 sekunder. Over and out.
Ciao!